Hey everyone, it's Evan Kirstel with another fabulous, fantastic conversation here on social media. I have Patrick Sullivan, co founder of 2600 Hertz, who are known as telecom fanatics, kind of like myself. And Patrick, I'm going to chat with you today from, I think you're on the slope somewhere, fun and exciting. But we're going to
Yeah,
chat about convergence of cloud communications, something you know a lot about at 2600 hertz. How are you?
I'm doing well, Evan. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see you. I can hear you thanks to 5G, I bet. And, exciting times in the communications cloud space. So you've had a lot of news the last week or so. What's new and what's top of mind?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for the last 4 years, we've been internally building a new framework for our front end, and it's called a micro front end framework. And the whole idea is that it will allow us to pretty much put anything on our desktop application or web application that's either produced by 2600 Hertz or third party applications. And then because we are a big proponent of CPaaS and everything APIs, the whole goal is that it allows third-party developers to utilize the APIs to add, their own flair to the front-end system. And what's also cool is that the front-end system is totally white labelable. So you can put your own logo on it and skin the whole thing based on your company's colors and stuff. So it's pretty powerful. And one of the big things is it works not just with our software, but it works with third-party software too. So if you want to integrate, in the future, if you want to add like a Slack portal to it or any type of, chat bots or anything to it, you can, and it's super easy. And it's really designed to be kind of like the one-stop shop for, all your business communications. And since it's kind of a distributed world now, all our applications are built in with a native WebRTC. So you can make calls either from your desktop or your mobile application or your cell phone because it will be mobile enabled too. So it's super powerful and we're really, really excited to launch it. And today we officially launched it for kind of our early beta users and stuff.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on order. I don't have champagne handy, but if I did, I would open it up and have a drink. But just taking a step back, so you at 2600 hertz power communication service providers. So you're sort of behind the scenes powering voice, video, messaging, and a whole suite of advanced communication servers. Tell us how that business is progressing. During the pandemic, in particular, you guys are really the innovation engine of a lot of telcos and telecom companies and MSPs.
Oh,
And your
absolutely.
product is Kazoo, which is a
Yeah.
I love companies products named after musical instruments. I'm a big fan
Well, it's
of
funny.
that.
We used to be called Whistle in honor of the early days of 2600 Hertz. There's a whistle in a Captain Crunch box, and if you used it, it would do a pretty cool 2600 Hertz tone, and then you could trick the carriers that you could make free phone calls back in the early '80s. So our original product name was Whistle, but we changed it to Kazoo after some legal issues because it turns out there's some whistle applications out there. But Kazoo it's a good name. It's memorable and people like it. So, but as far as your other questions about service providers, you know what? During the pandemic, obviously it was so tragic and horrible for many people and companies. But for our service providers, they kind of were able to really enable workers to work remotely. And because of a lot of the technology we built for mobile first and for WebRTC and the ability to work remotely, it really allowed them to kind of take it to the next step. So it's exciting for our service providers. They saw some huge growth in the last couple of years, and then more recently we've been bringing on just bigger and bigger clientele. So things are definitely going in the right direction.
Yeah, and many people think of you as a UCAS, Unified Communications Company, but you actually do much more. You're in the CPaaS space for developers. You have a contact center as a service solution for cloud contact center. I mean, you're really going all in on the platform at Kazoo.
Whole viewpoint is that with the cloud platform, it's really about this whole idea that people don't want to go to four different vendors for four different offerings. So they don't want to go to like a mobile provider for their mobile application. They don't want to go to a chat provider, and then also a different contact center provider, and then, potentially like a Ring Central for their UCaaS. And so they want everything in kind of the same stack. And it's actually really enabled our service providers to kind of land and expand. So once they get their foot in the door with, let's say, UCaaS, then they can start offering a call center solution. And they have all these access to APIs. So they can really customize it to their end user's workflow, which makes them extremely sticky because they're solution selling. They're not just price selling. And it's been a huge deal, especially, in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and you've been preaching about the power of cloud communications in our industry for a decade, but we're finally seeing this come true. Tell us about how you deploy in the cloud. Is it public cloud, private cloud, hybrid? I mean, what's your go-to-market with your...
Hey, Evan, I hate to say this. I lost your audio for some reason. One second.
Wow. Well, yeah, Joy, it's the beauty of live streaming from the mountaintop. So it's always exciting. Here we go. I have Patrick back again. Can you hear me? And he cannot. Can you hear me now, Patrick? Yeah, 5G. Despite the power of 5G, I guess from the...
There you are. Sorry about that, Evan.
No, it's the power of 5G. So even the mountaintops, we still have some coverage issues.
Well, I think that was more of a fat finger issue where my finger hit the phone and then all of a sudden I lost audio. So I do apologize.
You're busted. You're busted.
It's these big things.
But, we've all become used to this remote work and challenges and problems. And you're solving a lot of those challenges. And you're doing it in the cloud, right? Because traditionally, telcos have been very reluctant to move to cloud for real-time communications, but we're here today, something you've been preaching about for a decade.
Yep, absolutely. Well, so our viewpoint has always been the same, which is build a distributed platform that you can deploy in multiple data centers around the world. And then if servers go down or data centers go down, you don't care because it's a true cluster. And it really enables you to kind of work remotely because you just have to be able to connect to whichever data center is closest. And if that data center goes down, you might add a little latency, but the system will always be up and running. And that's a big deal because, over the years, people would claim cloud, but what they really were doing was taking their on-prem solution and throwing it on a, quote unquote cloud server. And then they thought that was a good enough cloud solution. But the reality is if that server went down, then their whole system was going down. And you could see this with some clients right now, or not clients, but you could see this with some competitors where, they will blame, AWS went down, and so we're completely down. With our solution, you should be able to deploy in AWS and then in Rackspace and in anything you want. And so if one service goes down, you don't care. It'll just automatically reroute to the next available service. So it makes it extremely resilient and reliable and pretty powerful.
No, it sounds like it. And I'm interested in all the customization that you guys do because, no enterprise is like another. Everyone has different business communication processes and workflows and employee hybrid work situations. So how much do your customers customize the solution for each customer? And what options are there versus taking a cookie cutter, approach with Microsoft or Google or an off the shelf vendor?
Oh, absolutely. So the system comes out of the box with pretty much all the, the stable of applications. But then it comes with a bunch of integrations with, Microsoft and Slack and a bunch of different things. But we do have customers who, they have their own development team or professional services team that they take it one step further because everything's an open API. They can just collect those APIs and then they can build their own front end based on kind of what their end user's workflow is. And so we have some customers that solely focus on one particular industry, such as like, the dentistry industry, and they make a very customized solution for that dentist industry. And, no one can ever take them out of that because once they're in, they have like it tightly integrated with, their customer records and, their CRMs and their screen pops. Then no one's going to be able to come in and say, hey, look, we have a cheaper solution for the dentist. The dentists are like, we don't care because it works exactly how our workflow is. And we're seeing more and more people really adopt to this kind of methodology of, bring in developers, understand what their clients are looking for, and build solutions based on what their clients are looking for. Don't try to kind of, jam, their existing offering down the customer's throat. Try to actually understand what the customer is looking for and then build something based on that. But again, we have, a wide variety of clients. We have some clients that just go to market with out of the box. And then we have some clients that really focus on that customizations. And to us, it's, the world is converging. We're developers and kind of like the traditional UCaaS. It's no longer either playing one or the other bucket. It's kind of the forward-thinking service providers are really the ones who are winning, are the ones who are kind of thinking about it from a holistic point of view.
Fantastic. And yeah, 300 APIs I was just reading on your website. Wow, that is really developer rich, developer friendly. So I like how you describe yourselves as telecom fanatics. I consider myself a bit of one. I have 30 years in the industry. You have some really loyal developers, loyal customers, partners, and you have this big event called KazooCon, which is your big gathering get-together coming up. I haven't been there yet, but tell us a bit more about KazooCon.
Well, so we did KazooCon for about 8 years in a row. We have a very large open source community that builds, a plethora of different applications on the system. And it's a really great way to, bring in business people and developers all together to understand, different kind of innovations and what different people are doing. So it's really cool. This year, it's going to be something slightly different just because of COVID and the uncertainty. We decided to do just a half-day online event. But nice. We'll be launching a bunch of different applications that we've been building for years. And that's going to be kind of the whole this is the next phase of the company. So we're really excited to announce it. We have a bunch of, partners that will be announcing some pretty big things also at KazooCon. And it's online, so it should be very easy for people to attend this year. And hopefully this is the last online one. And then the year after that, we'll come back together and bring everybody back to San Diego and do more of a in-person. Because at the end of the day, I think, the in-person, there is something extra valuable with the in-person meetings. But for right now, just to be on the safe side, we decided to do an online one.
Fantastic. Well, I can't wait to check it out. I can't wait to check out com.land. I might be able to use that for my little micro business. And
I love it.
Seeing you in person at one of the upcoming trade or industry events. You've got Enterprise Connect coming up and many others. And so, yeah, congratulations. Most importantly, how's the skiing? How's the powder?
Evan, I had zero interest in going today. We got about a foot of snow last night, and it's been dumping all day. So I've been on conference calls, and then I snuck out to try to get a couple of quick runs in before our chat. And I figured, if I'm preaching, kind of distributed workforce and working remotely, then let's test it from the mountainside. So it's
work from home, work from anywhere, play from anywhere.
Exactly.
You want to do a quick panorama of the slopes, or you?
Well, you're probably not going to see because I'm inside, but
okay,
that is the slopes out there.
I love Utah. I love the mountains. So
absolutely,
fun. Stay safe, and thanks for the update and the launch this week. Congratulations.
Absolutely, Evan. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
All right, take care.
All right, take care.
Bye.